And we are off with another episode of Bridgeside Sports. With my fellow colleagues, analysts, co-host, I am Alan Columbano. To my left, Mike Boo Bukowski.
What's up?
Mike Boo. Mike Boo. New nickname. Our Mr. Sports Science in a different seat this week, Phil Cagliostro.
That's because I have an orange shirt on.
And my fellow salmon-colored shirt friend. Yeah, we planned this. No, we didn't.
No.
You guys couldn't be too close
Chris the
together.
Analyst Ventura. Last time we were with you guys, we were speaking about we were live during the Cavs and Warriors game. So we're going to put a little bow on that. And Phil, me and Mike were right.
That's right. You were right. I believe one of you said Warriors in 6, so I don't want to say you were both right.
I said Warriors in 5. He said Warriors in 6. But
I thought it was the other way
nonetheless.
around.
I'm sorry. No, you
I was
guys said
still
the
way
same
closer
thing.
than you
I
guys.
thought.
I know, that's true.
I thought you guys said the same exact thing.
That's all right.
Both.
We were off. Yeah, obviously we were off.
Yeah, we were
thought
off.
the Cavs were going
We
to
were
win.
wrong.
We were all 1 for 1. Chris
I'll
and I
admit
got
it when I'm
the Stanley Cup. You guys got NBA
Yeah.
Finals.
But
we're even.
All in all, Mike, what did you think of the series? Did it live up to, I know it didn't live up to expectations, but were you at least somewhat entertained? Because I know you were a big person against, to say the least, the NBA playoffs.
I still think as a whole the NBA playoffs were pretty bad. I think it's actually well known and it's being talked about that this was one of the worst NBA playoffs
Absolutely.
maybe ever. But I do think that the finals, although it ended in 5, it was pretty entertaining. We had a couple really good games there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they were too much. They were too much for that team. They didn't look like they measured up. They just did not measure up to the Warriors.
I do have to disagree. What really good games did we have? Game 3 was good.
Game 3 was good. Game 4 was entertaining.
Game 4 was entertaining because they scored a massive amount of points.
Yeah,
that
right.
wasn't necessarily a good game.
It was,
Right.
And Game 5 was...
Game 3 was the good game.
Game
Game
5
5 they fell apart.
Yeah, and Game
They fell
5 they
apart.
lost. They were losing by a lot going into half. They fell apart at the end of the half. And they kept trying to mount something, but you never thought they were going to go over the hump. You always knew the Warriors were going to win. And that was the problem with everything. You always knew the Warriors were going to win. I think the finals were a disappointment, and I was the opposite of Mike. I was really excited for the whole NBA thing. It was disappointing.
I don't think it was ever in doubt at any time, like you said. I mean,
Agreed.
watching those games, you felt like Cleveland was the worst team. You felt like Golden State was just a superior team. And it's pretty scary to say when you have a team with LeBron, Love, and Irving. But it's
Well, it goes
unfortunate.
deeper than that, though.
Yeah,
With
no,
teams
I'm
like
just
this,
saying, well,
yeah.
like just looking on paper real quick. I'm not
Right.
even talking going into the bench.
Yeah, they're stacked.
It's unfortunate that's what the NBA's become. But, Chris, is there really anything that they can do? Is there anything that the NBA can do to kind of limit
To
these
stop
super
it?
teams?
I mean, well, the last few years they've been up in the salary cap, and
Well, is
how
that
are you going to go
start-
back on that now?
Well, no, has that helped it or hurt? I think
That
it's hurt
hurts
the
it.
super
Yeah,
team.
that's what I'm
because
saying.
it's created that
Oh, you're
much.
saying it hurts the super team?
No, I'm saying it hurts the NBA, but it helps the super team.
Right.
Because anybody can go wherever they want.
I don't know why they did that because, yeah, exactly. Now, like Boo said a couple weeks back, he said now the friends are talking to his friends. Now he's bringing his friend to this team.
But
now they're
Agreed.
stacking all each. It's like it's kind of retarded a little bit. I mean, I don't understand why the NBA they have to do something. I mean, it's not going to happen next year. It's not may not happen the year after that, but they have to start talking about it, and they have to start really analyzing it because it could fall apart. It could hurt them bad.
I think it was interesting. One thing that after the series, LeBron said, "Don't blame me for creating the super team thing."
He said, "quote I never played in a super team," which is a complete fabrication and lie because he did.
The level of super team has really risen to the point it is with the Warriors now, and his super teams can't stack up against that super team. But let's not get it twisted.
Right.
I mean, his original
Super team.
Heat were a super team. They were.
Yeah.
They were the first one.
His defense
No,
was
well,
that.
you could almost say Boston Celtics.
Yes, that's what he said. They had the big
You could
three.
say Boston
they had the
Celtics.
big 3.
Yeah, but
Allen,
those weren't
Pearson,
those
Garnett.
were not free
that
agent signings. Those were trades.
Yeah,
they had to. It was a little bit different.
Still a big
I'm
three.
just saying.
I
It was
understand
the
that.
beginning,
And they
his-
were more towards the end of their
yeah.
career, though.
His argument was that the super team, the Warriors, did all this after being the best team of all time.
But the Celtics, that was not a.
It's not.
That
I
was
mean,
not. They didn't
it was
have,
a great team.
They didn't have any of the top 3 players in the league. Even though those were
No, you're right. That was more
at
of
the
a
time.
team.
They were definitely, those three guys were definitely like top 15 in the league.
Well, Garnett was way up
But
there.
none of them was like top 3 at any time. I mean, when LeBron and Wade, they were in their prime, and even Bosh was like a top 10 player, top 15 player. So that was a different level. But now when we talk about the Warriors, I mean, they have two of the top three
players
or
in the
four
Two of the top three.
players
Yeah,
in the league.
it's LeBron,
So
Curry, and Durant.
it's
Yeah,
a different
Wait,
level.
I got a question. Are we just saying this now because it's now, or because there were stacked teams back in the day too? Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's that the league itself is weaker as a whole.
No, the league is weaker because all these guys are going to specific teams. Look at the Jazz. The Jazz, Stockton, Malone, they were drafted,
Okay.
right? Jordan, Pippen, drafted. These weren't guys that were going to a team that was already good. You know what? I want to play with this guy. I want to win. So I mean, I think that's the reason it happened. But I want to leave with this, and we're going to move on to NBA draft preview. Are the Warriors the favorite next year?
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
No brainer.
Well, I heard
right?
Cavs something about Paul George.
Or Butler. I just reading they're looking to get Butler on a 3-way deal. They're going after Butler just well. That's the only thing they could do. The super teams were built, and now it's like an arms race. It's like the Cold War.
It's like a Cold
You
War.
just gotta keep.
And that
Stacking
And just the only
teams.
thing I want to say, the salary cap went up because they just made more money, dude. They had nothing to do. They had so much money that they couldn't. They had to give. It's in the contract. You have to give money to the players.
Right. All right. So then
So
it's
the
not the
players wanted
NBA's
their
fault,
money.
is what you're saying?
It's just,
but
they became very popular.
But it
and
hurt-
They got
it
a
hurt,
lot of money. Yes, it
you know, the
hurt
league a little
competitive
bit.
balance, but the players want their money. I don't blame them.
maybe there's just a lot of bad players in the NBA. I don't know.
yeah, and they're all on certain
A
teams.
lot of bad players.
All the good players
They're all
are-
on the Knicks.
They're on the Knicks of the Nets.
All right.
Building for the
Speaking of-
future.
Speaking of Knicks and Nets building for the future, although
The draft.
the Nets don't pick ever. I mean, all the picks they gave away to get
Nets?
Oh,
yeah, to get
the worst
Pearson-
trade ever.
to get Pearson Garnett. But moving on to our mock draft,
Guys passed.
how do we feel about it? What do you think? I mean, Fultz with that trade going one.
Well,
So big news, the big news of the week in the NBA draft is that Celtics are going to trade the number 1 overall pick.
it happened already, no?
Yeah,
it's official
Well, it's
today.
official. It's done. It's through.
Yeah.
I mean, put it this way: they were, I want to say, minus. Let me see something. This is a crazy bet that I actually, I'm not going to say what I did, but so
You mush, you're going to lose anyway, whatever it is.
Fultz, when this trade
I'm
broke
in the
on
bathroom.
Saturday night, he was minus 2,000 to go as the first pick. You could still make that bet. Today, it's minus 5,000.
Yeah, I think the Sixers came out and said they're taking him.
Right,
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
there was pictures posted of Joel Embiid basically like with the name written on the locker. I mean, it's a done deal. It's pretty much done. What do you guys think about this? I mean, I think it's a pretty good move. They have they don't
The Celtics?
for the Celtics.
I
because
agree.
If they don't love and really, I mean, what's the one position they're set at?
Who?
The
Point
Celtics.
guard.
Isaiah
Point
Thomas.
guard.
Isaiah
Yeah,
Thomas.
point,
right?
yeah, right.
So
So they didn't need him.
if they're not going to pick Fultz, then I mean they did
Well, they
a
only
great
dropped
job.
to 3, and then they get a future first-round pick.
I thought it was a great trade for the Celtics. I was actually
Yeah.
surprised the Sixers did it. Kind of goes against what they've been doing, giving up picks. I think it also shows, I said this before, I think it shows the Celtics are just like, you know what? We're not winning the next couple of years. The Warriors are too good.
That's a hell of a way to run an organization. though.
But think about it. No, but you said you're still going down to a 3. You're getting another first-round pick. You're going to have like 2 or 3 first-round picks next year. The condition was that if the Lakers fall between 2 and 5, they get their pick. So if it's outside of 2 or 5, it gets kicked to the next year, and they get the Kings' first-round pick. The Sixers had all these picks built up. I'm surprised they gave it up just to go 2 spots. They must love Fultz that much.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the Celtics is just building up as much as they can till the Warriors or the Cavs drop a little bit, and then they can come in. I don't think it's a terrible strategy.
Well,
to be honest with you.
I think you're right if they do end up picking people at these picks, but what will be interesting is if they use some of these picks to make a trade for a big name. Because there are some big names out there. Jimmy Butler's out there. I mean, Paul George already talked about. They're already talking about Cleveland with Paul George. But Jimmy Butler's an option. Drummond, DeAndre Jordan. If they go out and get one of these guys, then it's a play for right now.
Absolutely, 100%.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do with these.
I don't
older
think
Yeah,
they're
I
going
guess.
to, though.
Yeah, I do, but Paul George literally said today, I don't care about rings. Came out and
No,
said,
he didn't.
Yes, he did. He said,
Did
I don't
he really?
Yeah, I don't care about rings.
Who says that?
And
That's craziness.
So what does he
I don't
care about?
I don't want I don't want
Money.
I don't want
Stats.
I don't want to play with the Lakers. I mean, I don't want to play with the Pacers. I'm leaving next year.
Yeah, I know he said that. Yeah.
So he came out and said both those things. Like,
I wouldn't
What do
even
you
want him
put-
after that.
but But now
How
you're
wants
putting
him?
the patient in a weird situation because here's the thing: the Pacers, you can do two things. One, you can trade him to Cleveland, trade him to Golden State, add him. Why not? Trade him wherever you want.
Trade him to Golden
Trade
State,
him to
did
Golden
you
State.
Yeah,
Oh
trade him
my
to Golden
God.
State.
Right? Trade him to the Lakers. Do whatever you want to do, but get something
starting
for him.
lineup.
Get something for him, or
He'll come off
which
the
I
bench.
think, or which I think is the better thing to do with George. You keep him, right?
Yeah.
Granted, he said he's going to leave, but if he really doesn't care about titles and he ends up on an All-NBA team next year, and you can offer him another $45 million, so you can use that Supermax contract, I think he stays in Indiana and you keep him.
I don't know.
That doesn't
No,
make
I
sense to
think
you?
It makes
I don't
sense.
think Indiana's going to do that.
But I think
Why wouldn't they do it?
because I think they can get. So if they get Love from Cleveland, it's a much more affordable contract because it was signed 2 years ago,
Right, before
as
the new
opposed to
CBA,
the
right.
massive of the salary cap. So if they're, I think the Cavs are driven to desperation to make these trades. They'll trade.
Yeah, I
They'll
can't.
trade Love. They're
They're
going
winning
to
now.
make this move for George. They have to. Not saying that Love's a great player, but George fits better in defending the Warriors super team.
Dude, I don't know. I think in
Yeah,
watching,
because he's an excellent defender.
I think
Let
in
me cut you
watching,
off.
I think in watching the playoffs, Love is not a great player. I don't think he is. I
He
think-
was
used to be a
he was
great player.
fantastic on Minnesota,
Minnesota,
but when
Still
he-
good. He can't play defense.
sometimes when you're the lone wolf, you put up a lot bigger stats and you have the ball a lot more.
1911 this year.
kind of like
Yeah, but in the playoffs,
and he's a third option.
Yeah.
1911
He
is a
just-
third
it's-
option.
he had a
his
great
defense.
regular
It's
season,
his
but in the
defense.
playoffs, he was
It's the
disappeared in
defense.
certain
I think
games.
it's the defense. He can't
I
keep
don't-
up with those guys.
I don't want to get too off track. Fultz is going to go one.
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right.
Ball to the Lakers.
I got one mock. I thought it was a done deal. I got one mock says Fox from Kentucky's going to Lakers.
Mine
think-
says Ball.
I think Ball should go to the league. I think it's a perfect fit,
Me too.
except the X factor.
The dad?
Yeah.
What,
I mean,
Chris, what do you say about the dad?
Lamar Ball's out of control. He's going to
Who?
fight LeBron.
Oh,
dad.
He's going to
Oh, my
fight
God.
LeBron on the court.
on the court.
It's a disaster for anybody.
How
He
the
might
hell-
drop just for that.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that he's projected to go high, and then the day of the draft, nobody wants to pull the trigger on him because of stuff
He'll
like
fall.
that.
He'll fall to the Knicks at 8, and Knicks will take him to be the worst player.
And LeVar Ball.
He'll be another.
Yeah, the Knicks will take. No, he won't fall. Take.
LeVar Ball
No,
and
he
Kobe
won't.
Bryant
He
are
won't.
going at it.
But then you got some interesting
Can we skip to the next?
scenarios. You want to skip to the Knicks?
Well, I just want to talk about one guy, Jason Tatum, who I think might be the
He's
best
going to go
player
to
in the
third.
draft.
He's going to go third.
Yeah?
And if the
I think he
Celtics
goes to
get
the
him
Celtics.
at
It's a
3,
steal.
I mean, then they really played this the right way. They did a great job in their trade. If they get Tatum,
I don't
at
see
3.
why they won't get him at 3 though.
What about Josh Jackson?
What about him?
Well, I mean,
Is that the
Isn't
guy
that-
from Mighty Ducks now?
Kansas.
isn't that
Joshua.
the player that
Joshua.
they're
That's Pacey.
targeting? Wouldn't that be the player they could target as
You got
well?
Joey.
They can.
Yes, but
Why not him?
I think I'm a Duke fan, but I'm very partial to Duke
You're
players.
a Duke fan?
I like them over UNC. I
So
mean,
you're
I feel
not
like
a
you have
Duke
to
fan
pick
then?
one.
talk
You
to
just
you.
like
Like
you're
I
a
like
fake fan.
I like rooting for Duke. I don't know.
I don't want to talk.
Oh,
It is
you
what it
root
is
for
because
Duke
you know
out
what? So many people hate Duke. I feel like. So
out
I'm
of
like,
all
I root
college
for 'em.
teams, your favorite is Duke, is what you're saying?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I would. I don't.
So what's
yeah.
your deal? What are you saying?
I think I think the players that come out of Duke are
You stink.
no. They're more polished.
Dude, come on! Look at all
Yeah.
these. Look at all
I mean,
these
come on.
schools on the projected
You got
top picks.
Kansas.
Other than Fultz, then you have Ball, UCLA, then you have Duke, then you have Kansas, then you have Kentucky. These are
Right.
all.
They're all big time schools.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
not
Florida
all
State.
though.
And then
NC State.
and then the Knicks might
Then
take-
France.
And then the Knicks will take somebody
French
from
player.
another country.
We'll just take him from France. That's all.
Are you reading a lot about
Porzingis.
Malik Monk, which would be a
I would
which
jump
be a
all over
great
that.
pick.
As a Knicks fan, I would take Monk in a heartbeat.
He's a great
He's a scorer.
Yep,
Granted, you need a point guard, but he's
exciting too. Exciting. Well, you can't reach on the point guard after that because there's going to be a run for point guards. But to do really quick,
Lot
we
of
talk
point
about
guards in this draft.
Dennis Smith might drop, but he's I think a little more hit and miss. He can't miss on this pick if you Phil Jackson. He can't miss, and you kind of but he might go the European guy. You're going to lock him up with Porzingis of Europe.
Would it be crazy to think that the Knicks win a
Trade up.
championship in the next 5 years?
Yes.
Why do you?
5 years is a long time.
It's not really. I mean, would it be insane?
Yes,
could win by the
I'll
fifth
tell you,
year.
there is
Yes.
a 0% chance that
I
that
agree.
happens.
Okay.
Literally
I'm
0.
with you. 100%.
Zero,
0%.
you said.
0%.
Zero.
First of all, in the next 5 years, the Warriors are going to win at least 3 championships.
Wow.
Three in the next
kidding me?
Durant wants to
Yes.
play there many, many years.
At least 3 championships
All
in
right.
the next 5
Fast
years.
forward. Is there a chance the Knicks win one in the next 30 years?
I mean, come on.
Well, if you told me that in 1973,
won-
you'd be wrong.
Exactly.
You said, come on, like it's a crazy statement.
No,
but
I know.
Think about it. They haven't won
They
in
haven't
50
won in your
years.
lifetime.
What
Yeah.
goes to show that they're doing anything in the right direction? Their
Nothing.
management is all off. It starts
Porzingis.
from the top.
Porzingis.
And then he's nowhere to be found. He won't even
he's not-
talk
He doesn't
about the
even want
Knicks.
to talk to the
He's not
management.
happy. He's not happy.
I mean, but this is what we have to talk about in basketball: is if you like a team, you have to hope they're going to win a championship in the next 30 years. This is the state of
And
the
the Knicks
NBA
haven't
right now.
won.
You pray. Basically,
The Knicks
you're
haven't won in 43.
Wait, no, but
44.
I don't.
Hold
think,
on,
I don't
we're
agree
talking
with
over
that.
each other. So basically, you're praying for a guy who's probably in like 5th grade right now to be the savior of your
Come on.
franchise. Think about that.
Maybe he hasn't
he's
even-
10 years old.
Maybe hasn't even been born.
So you're basically saying, all right, the Warriors and the Cavs for the next
We're hoping for John
10
Connor.
years.
We're hoping for John Connor, a savior to be
Terminator.
born, a Knicks savior to be born in the future.
I mean,
and
listen,
hopefully
I
the
don't
Warriors don't
disagree-
come
I
back
disagree
and kill
with
him.
that.
You think so? Just to wrap this up in the Knicks, and we'll move on. Dennis Smith, Monk, the French guy who I've never seen play.
Monk,
I'm not
I think,
gonna
would
lie.
be the best pick.
I've never seen him play, but apparently they compare him to the Greek
Frank-
freak. He's 6'5", he's a 7 foot
Tilakina?
one.
Yes, he
Can you
see
pronounce that name? Because I can. I know I'm supposed to be
Nicolina.
hosting, but I can't do it.
Nick Talina.
Listen, dude, these
Ticka-
European guys,
Ticka-
it's a crapshoot when you're taking them
Frank
because
Ann.
they're playing against. I mean,
And
they're
they
playing
don't
in
play a lot
Europe.
of
It's a
minutes.
different type of game. They don't play enough minutes. So I really hope they don't do it again. Remember
Frederick Weiss.
Porzingis-
Frederick Weiss is the
Frederick Weiss.
poster boy.
Who'd they take?
Ron Artest.
Yeah, very
Pick
good.
pick
Very
before
good.
Ron Artest. All right. that's
There's been
all right.
guys that have been successful,
Dirk
though,
Nowitzki.
foreign players.
Dirk
What do you mean?
Nowitzki.
Plenty of them. I mean, a lot of them end up failing, but there's been
Do you
plenty of
remember?
successes.
Do you remember who Dirk
Danilo
Nowitzki was?
Gallinari.
Do you remember who Dirk Nowitzki was traded for?
Jason Kidd?
Tractor trailer.
No.
Robert
Ooh.
Tractor Trailer.
Robert
Oh, talk about draft bust. There goes one right there.
God.
Dirk Nowitzki traded for Robert
that-
Tractor Trailer.
That's
By the
who-
way, I think Boston's getting Josh Jackson at 3. That's what I'm going to say.
I think
I'm a big Kansas fan.
You're not
so-
really going on a limb.
You're
No,
big
I know.
Kansas fan.
Honestly, the
You're a
elite
big Duke
4
fan.
are those guys: De'Aaron Fox, Josh Jackson, Lonzo Ball, Markelle Fultz. I think those are the. I mean, I know you like Tatum, but
I think if Ball doesn't go to 2, I think he drops to 4. 'Cause I don't think they're taking Ball.
Suns, yeah. I
don't think-
I
yeah, they
agree. They
won't.
won't take.
I don't think the Celtics take
They
a Ball.
have a point guard. and They don't want his dad.
no, yeah. Why would they take Ball?
They don't want his
won't
dad.
take
They
Ball.
can't afford his
Saying.
shoes.
So you might see him slip.
Maybe we'll see.
Might see him
I don't
slip.
know.
we will see.
Are we gonna watch? We're all gonna watch the NBA draft?
I don't really care about it. No.
Are you kidding me? Really? You don't care?
I
at all?
watched the.
Is that
I
the
watched the.
second?
I watched the Knicks pick.
Tease,
I watched the Knicks pick.
all right,
Maybe
moving
about
on.
it.
Moving on. We don't really care about the next pick either. Let's be honest.
I mean,
All
I just
right.
want to see.
All right, so our next segment. Last week, Mike had an outlandish statement with Odell Beckham Jr. saying he's not going to be relevant
There
in
you
5
go,
years,
after Odell
3
Beckham
years.
Jr.
I mean, it was
3
pretty
years,
silly,
yeah.
but you know,
Gonna be
It
worse
is what
than
it is.
Kyle
it is.
Rudolph.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
Also,
Everybody has
they-
their own thing, you know.
Can I host, man?
I'm just saying, it is what
Chris
it
is
is.
doing a better job,
He
though.
had. I'm saying.
Let me
everybody
know
has
when you
their
let
own
me know when you're
crazy
done, so I can
opinions.
introduce the topic. That's all I'm
I
trying to
might have
say.
the most.
I think you just got confused. You guys are wearing the same shirt. You don't know who's
Yeah,
the
I'm a
host.
little
You don't know which
confused.
way to look. We're
Yeah.
both sitting at the end.
Sitting on the end.
I know what a salmon movie. No?
Mine's orange though.
Stop
No, I don't
There
know.
you go. Thank you, Phil. All right. So, are you kidding me? This week we're going to throw it to my salmon
the
brother
host.
down there, Chris the Analyst Ventura. He's got some outlandish statement. This
The
I
double
have-
whammy.
I gotta sit
This
back
I have
for
to
Hold
hear.
on, I gotta
This
sit
is
back
really
for
scary because Chris
We don't
he
know what
says
it
some
is.
of the craziest stuff ever.
Yeah.
So I don't know what
I have
what
said-
you're
Most
saying.
things you say are pretty outlandish. So if you
Not
actually,
most, but I mean, I
Yeah.
will throw an outlandish statement.
I'd
Yeah.
say probably
He was
60%
right
of
about
the
Ryan
things.
Zimmerman, though.
60% of the things you say is somewhat outlandish.
Dials Keuchel. Okay,
that wasn't
but that wasn't outlandish. No, it wasn't. All right, so here's what it is: a double whammy. One, I think the Arizona Diamondbacks are going to the World Series.
Wow.
Listen. It's not winning it, but I can say they're going to the World Series on the heels of Paul Goldschmidt and Jake Lamb, and I think Jake Lamb's going to end up top 3 in MVP this year. Top 3 in MVP,
So
if not win the MVP.
Goldschmidt's going to be in the top 3
No,
also?
no, Lamb.
Just Lamb. So you're saying Lamb's going to carry him, not Goldschmidt.
Well, both Lamb and Goldschmidt together.
But Lamb's going to finish higher in the MVP voting.
Yes.
All right. So can I just say something?
Leading the
here?
league in RBIs.
Can I answer
This
this?
is Arizona Diamondback edition of Are You Kidding Me?
Arizona Diamondbacks.
This is actually pretty scary
I watch a lot of
because this morning
Yeah.
when I was talking
Wind
to
believes you.
when I was talking to
No.
our producer, I swear to God, I said to myself, I got to think about this. Sorry, kid. I said, you know what? I think the Diamondbacks going to make the World Series.
You said that?
To myself,
Swear. Is it
the
and
shirt?
I actually researched it.
Is it the
I
shirt?
pull up the stats. They have 6 guys hitting over 280.
I know.
right?
The stats.
Robbie Ray, Greinke, and
Robbie Ray.
We're talking about pitching now.
I'm talking about
Oh,
pitching. I'm talking about pitching. They have
Robbie Ray's
6 guys
hitting
hitting.
over 280.
They have 6 guys hitting over 280.
Yeah.
Right. Granted, Pollock's been hurt, but Greinke, Ray, Corbin is so-so, and oh my God, who's their 4th starter? That's having a very good year. He's on my fantasy
Tejon Walker?
team. Walker? No, there's somebody else. Come on,
I got it for you. Hold on.
blown.
I'm trying
Regardless, he's throwing like a 2.1 ERA.
Oh, Zach Godley?
Godley. He's thrown to a
Oh,
2-1
come
ERA.
on.
So I'm just telling you that I don't think that's that outlandish.
yeah.
I actually think it makes a lot of sense.
And they even got Archie Bradley as a long middle reliever who's
He's
pretty
been-
good.
Jake
He's been
Lamb-
solid as hell.
Jake
He's
Lamb
been
has
excellent.
59 yards this year.
He leads
too,
the league
so.
in RBIs, Jake Lamb.
I know,
The
so-
entire MLB.
so
Okay?
it's not-
Now, here's the thing, though. He's hitting 280, so there's obviously other guys hitting a higher average. He has a lot of Ks, but he walks a decent amount, doesn't have the most run scores, doesn't have the most doubles either. But I just think that he's going to end up having a monstrous second half and take I don't know if he's going to take down the MVP. I'm going to say top 3 guaranteed.
He's already having a monster first half. I mean,
Right.
You look at right now they have the best home record. They're 26-9 at home, right? So they're on, right now they're on a 7-game win streak. So I mean, you're picking the right time to say this. I do not think that this is a team that's going to go to the World Series. I mean, there's really a big separation between mediocre and teams that, so they're going to make the playoffs because they're far ahead. They're going to either win the division or they're going to get one of the wild cards because there's a lot of teams that are at 500 and they're 18 games over 500. But come on, when you're talking to me about Zach Godley and guys like this, Robbie Ray is pitching.
Zach Godley's been great, and he's young.
Robbie Ray, man.
Robbie Ray's pitching way over
Ray's
his
my
head.
boy.
I mean,
Why is he pitching?
You
over?
think
He's a young
so?
guy.
He's always got hit and miss, swing and miss potential.
a young
he
guy.
strikes out a lot of guys.
He's 11 Ks per 9, right? Something silly like that.
He's going
12
to
last
regress
year.
to
Oh, no, yeah, he's a big-time
Oh, when? He's going to
I
regress
hate
to the
that.
mean.
I hate that statement so much. It's like a guy can't have a good year. Regress to the mean automatically means he's not that good. He'll
Everyone's
regress to
average.
his mean. God forbid somebody has a good year.
No, guys, yeah, of course.
Well, he's
guys
gonna
can
have a
good
good
Jake
year
years.
Lamb's WAR is only 1.9. How could he win the MVP? Come on.
I hate these sabermetrics. They shove them, where.
Do you not like the sabermetrics?
I hate them.
Hold on, I just want to say
I
one
hate
thing,
him.
Chris.
I hate him.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, are you kidding me? Because are you kidding me? That wasn't that outlandish. I'm very disappointed.
Why
with
is
you.
that not that
I'm very
outlandish?
disappointed with you.
Jake
you
Lamb
tell me-
top 3 MVP
Jake
and Arizona
Lamb,
going to World Series?
He's leading the league in RBIs. You're gonna say it's top 3 MVP.
I mean,
Win thought he
you
was going
got
to
to do a
World
lot
Series.
more than that.
Arizona Diamondbacks are 44-26. They have a 630% winning percentage. They're going to win the World Series. I'm a little disappointed with you.
So wait,
you're
wait.
usually out there with outlandish. This wasn't that outlandish.
So I guess it's
Are
not.
you kidding me? This is not. Are you kidding me?
not
Okay?
outlandish enough.
That's
All
the
right.
Are you kidding me?
So pretty
I
much
thought it was.
No.
Your "Are you kidding me" should be like your normal statements from now on, because that makes more sense than half the stuff you say.
This was logical. You thought
like
it
Julio
out.
Jones becoming the greatest receiver of all time. Which is
See, that's
another
Are
thing
You
out there.
kidding
You
me?
should have went with that one.
Better
Should've went
than
with
Jerry
that one.
Rice,
Yeah, okay.
Megatron, and all those other kids. I'm telling you.
Jerry Rice is 60. He's in a walker.
They're children compared to Julio Jones.
Get
Yo,
outta
Julio
here.
Jones is a
They might as well
transformer.
be.
He's a transformer.
He's a transformer, exactly.
Optimus Prime.
Diamondbacks have a great lineup. I will say that. And
Got a great
Pollock,
line.
when
See, come
Pollock
on,
comes
come
back,
on.
Oh,
Pollock's
exactly.
coming back. Come on.
When is Pollock coming
They're
back?
going to
Hold
win the
on.
World Series. Forget it. I'm terrible. This is disgusting.
He's
Done.
He's
Done.
disgusting.
Are you kidding me? Over.
Disgusting.
Over. Chris, not bad. I actually like it.
I
That's
thought,
why,
I thought
it-
people being.
I don't
It
wanna
was-
like
It was
about it.
smart.
Guys, I
It was
can't
good.
hear you. Jesus.
I thought
You're all
you'd be-
saying the same thing.
I thought you guys be pissed about it. That's what I'm trying to say. I guess nobody was really that pissed about it. You guys really think the Arizona Diamondbacks can go World Series? Now
might.
you're making me rethink it.
I don't think they are.
Christ.
No. But not
Moving
crazy.
on. Moving on to my favorite sports franchise, the mangled New York Mets. So, I did a little research. The Mets have had 16 guys on the DL this year so far. The record is 27, which I think 2 years ago the Dodgers set. Do the Mets break that record? Yes or no?
No.
It's tough.
That's more than the entire roster.
They've got six. They've had
No.
16 trips. I'm not talking about players. We've got 16 trips to the DL.
I know. But
Right? It's June 19th. There's about 3.5 months left of the season.
Yeah.
They're not even in July.
How many did they get this week? It was Neil Walker pulled his hamstring. Harvey, the saga of Harvey continues.
That was bound to happen. That was.
stress fracture of scapula. Chris said Matt's is going to get there eventually, so that's going to
But so far, so good with Matt.
What was it? It was Neil Walker pulled the hamstring. Harvey had the stress fracture. Then Lagares broke his thumb diving for the ball.
Unbelievable.
can't
I've
even-
never
I
seen a
can't
team
even-
I
like
mean,
this.
some of
Great
it's
face.
chalked up to bad luck.
It's ridiculous. Of course.
You know, but a lot of it has to do with they got to start spending money on their
I don't know, man. That is bad
medical
luck.
program.
You got to start to think that maybe they didn't handle all these young pitchers the right way since they're getting hurt so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everybody. And Harvey, I mean, is he ever going to come back to what he was
No,
or anything
I
close?
thought he. I'm wrong. I was dead wrong about that. I thought he was.
You know, maybe there's something
Maybe
to
it doesn't look good though.
the Joba rules. Maybe there's something to that. Maybe,
Don't bring
I mean,
those
we're all moving
I
in that
don't know.
direction anyway. But these guys were pitching big-time games, and a lot of them pitching big innings, very young. And maybe that's, it's hard to say. Maybe that caught up to them. But it's it's been tough.
I just honestly think that it's a share of bad luck, obviously, but there's something has to be done with this, either training staff. Something's going wrong within that organization.
And it's been going on for a long time.
It's not even a laughing matter at this point. There's something.
so funny.
Cespedes plays a game. He pulls his hamstring. Walker, hamstring. Guys break thumbs like it's their jobs. Lats get pulled.
I'm sorry.
Harvey, Syndergaard, muscles that just break. How does this happen?
I don't know.
How could the broken thumb be the trainer's fault?
I don't know.
The pitching staff.
No, are you kidding me?
It's the pitching
He
staff.
told
Is
the
bad.
wrong one.
Everybody goes down. Everybody on the pitching staff goes down.
It's actually. I feel like, you know what? I feel kind of bad because every week I feel like I come on this show and I bash the Mets.
Last week we didn't.
But what's good to say?
I know. I try. I look for it, and then I'm driving and I get alerts on my phone. Harvey, DL. 10 minutes later, Walker, DL. That night, Lagares, broken thumb. Are you kidding me? How does that happen?
It's a shame because they were moving in the right direction. They won the last 3 against the Braves, and
Right, we're talking good
they
about
won 2 out of 3 against the Cubs, and then
the
a
Nationals
huge
came to
series against the Nationals. They came to town and they lose the first 3 games of the series. A series that they really needed to win. 3 out of 4 to get back in the race. And I think this is it for them.
That's the end of that.
I said about 2 months ago they should send their trainers to North Korea, and they're still around.
I will say though,
That division's horrible.
Too political.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's too soon, man. I will say that I think that these, and it was something you mentioned earlier on one of our first shows about Terry Collins being fired. I will say I think these injuries will save Terry Collins' jobs because after a while, I think they will.
Way.
After a while, how could you chalk it up to him? He's trying to put together as best he could. Guys are dropping like flies.
I understand.
After a
That's
while,
part of-
eventually, you're gonna have to say like, oh, all right. Maybe there
All right,
was a little too much. Maybe it was too insurmountable for him to overcome.
But after a while, it's like we need a change.
I'm not.
You know what I
agree.
mean? We need a change after a while. Some sort of change in the organization.
Yeah.
Sometimes coaches will get let go because of that.
Their whole
Coughlin
training
did.
staff needs to go. I'm not even kidding. I know I
Yeah.
keep going back to this. You're a physical
with that.
therapist. How does this happen?
Well, that's why I said the thumb. I mean,
I was joking around with, but
it's beyond words. Like I can't even.
I mean, listen. The thing with Terry Collins is when you make the World Series, you buy yourself some time. All right, as a manager,
of
you
course.
buy yourself
years.
a couple years without a doubt. And I feel like the only way that you really can lose that very quickly is if a team quits on you. I don't think they've quit on him because the injuries have been out of his control, but I do think that he really handled the Harvey situation the wrong way. He should have been.
what was he supposed to do?
Syndergaard.
I mean, that's kind of above his pay grade almost.
And the
He
Syndergaard,
can't
he
suspend him.
That comes from up top, man.
And
He could talk.
he couldn't do anything about Syndergaard.
if he doesn't
too.
have an input on that decision, then he's not doing a whole lot.
I think that comes from up top. I don't think that's. I mean, I'm sure they can make a
What about the
recommendation.
Syndergaard?
but
MRI.
What could he have done? He didn't want to go
no,
in
the
the MRI.
Syndergaard MRI is a joke. I mean,
That's what I mean.
You at some point, but I guess that's the problem with managers in general. If you don't have your team behind you, when your players are making 5-6 times the amount that you are, your best players, like you don't really have much say unless they respect you.
I think MLB managers are overrated anyway. But anyway,
It's more of a. It's not the X's and O's. I guess a lot of times it's more like dealing with people and
there's players, managers. There's you know.
I think that's more than the X. Now, granted, in the National League you might have to do a little more. Be a little more.
There's a lot more
strategic.
strategic. Yeah.
And the way sabermetrics is with somebody like Girardi, and we'll get to the Yankees in a minute.
Girardi.
But
I do think the Mets going forward. I think it's time for them to be sellers at the deadline. I think they have to try to move some
Yeah.
pieces.
They're down 10.5 already.
Duda, Walker, Cabrera, Reyes, all in the final year of their deals. Bruce and Granderson are both pending free agents. You got to move some of these guys and get something.
So now you're going into rebuild mode.
I mean, I think you have to move these guys because Granderson, if you can get anything for him, dude, these aren't. If you can get something,
You can't get anything.
if you can
for
give it to
Henderson,
a
I'm
team.
sorry.
Come July, when there's teams that need a certain piece and they're desperate,
Yeah.
you see other teams getting, and they just want to pick up somebody. You got to get what you can.
I know, but this day and age, everybody's a Granderson. Everybody's striking out. Everybody's trying to hit homers. They're all trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
You're looking for more guys like Billy Hamilton. You'd rather have a guy who could steal bases because there's not many left.
Well, I think there'll be a market for a guy like Granderson who could
Think
still
so?
hit homers,
Think
and
so?
definitely Jay Bruce.
Old too, dude.
They're not going to get a lot
Bruce
Bruce still will be. Bruce still will be.
Bruce, because Bruce is playing really
We'll see
well.
what
What
they
about
do.
Conforto? No, they got to hold on to him, right? Forever.
You
No, that's the guy you gotta hold
trade
on
Conforto.
I know, but
Conforto's also
he's
been
got the
hurt,
highest
too.
value.
You cannot trade Conforto. That should have been your. Are you kidding me?
Oh, see, there we go. Outlandish. Trade Conforto.
It makes no sense, though.
Guys, you want to know something?
Who are you trading Conforto for?
Guys, you want to know something? This is officially the longest we've ever talked about the Mets.
That's true. Applause.
That's not true.
That's not true?
No, but not.
Maybe
with
since you've been on,
since
you've been on the show. Yeah. I just
early on we talked.
Why
about
would you trade Conforto?
for a pitcher?
Who are you gonna get?
For a pitcher.
Name a pitcher. You're gonna get Matt Garza for Matt Conforto.
What's going on with Quintana?
It's a horrible trade.
Why would you do that? Why would you trade your best position player when you have 5 supposedly stud pitchers? You're going to trade your best position player for a pitcher?
This is why I make outlandish.
But this wasn't the time to make the outlandish statement.
But are you?
No, you can't trade Conforto. He's also in arbitration years and stuff. Not even.
Yeah, no, he's
Just probably barely in his arbitration.
He's
years.
under good control.
But I'm just saying, they need to do something. They have to do something. They can't just sit around and hope that things are going to get better.
See, Mark just said, did Chris just say Conforto? 5 question marks. 5 question marks.
I like it.
Mark
I'll
also
say
said
this
Nixon
shit.
2047. You heard it here first.
I'm going to be 60.
God.
Next 2047.
Moving on. We go across town from the Mets to the Yankees.
Been on a skid.
Oh,
Yankees have been on a skid. They went out west and they had a little trouble.
doesn't happen all the time when they go out west, I feel.
No, it doesn't. Not when they were really good.
They used to lose to the Angels. How many times did they lose to the Angels in the playoffs in the 2000s? They lost so many times, I burned your Angels hat.
I did. I had a nice Angels hat.
Well, why'd you have an Angels hat?
I didn't know they were going to lose to him. I liked the hat. It was
It
navy
deserved
blue,
what
red,
it
white,
got. It deserved what it got.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
That's a whole.
Deserved what it got.
Royals hat on.
It's fine. They didn't
The
even
Mets fan may want to burn that hat.
Yeah, I know.
All right, let's get the show on the road, folks. Talk about your team.
What team?
Yeah.
Whoa.
What are we up to? No, we're up to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Oh,
our team, not his team.
All right,
Our
I
team.
got you.
Our
So
team.
he's talking fantasy.
We're talking about the Yankees and the Angels hat.
So they went out west and
got smacked.
they didn't really get smacked. That's the thing. They lost
All close games.
Right.
I felt
all
like.
close games.
I
which,
mean-
which you can look at it 2 ways, right? You can look at it
blew.
one, they were in every game, right? They didn't
Yeah.
get blown out. If they would have got, if they would have went out west and their pitchers got shelled and they didn't hit, you could say, all right, maybe. But they were in every game. But in the same token, you could say to yourself,
But they're playing Oakland, L.A., and the worst hitting teams in the MLB.
right. But you could say to yourself, they lost all 1-run games. Good teams find ways to win those. I'm not saying you win all of them, but you're not supposed to lose 6 in a row.
Yeah.
Not supposed to happen if you're a good team.
That Castro
Gets
drop
swept in
pop up
Oakland.
really was
Oakland.
like. I watched the whole game. I was like, oh my god, it's a disaster. What the hell?
It's rough.
That game was in the bag for them a couple of times. I don't know what they were doing.
They battled back, right? They battled
Yeah,
back.
they did battle back.
And in quite a few of the games, quite a number of the games,
They
right?
lost 4 1-1 games.
All low-scoring games, though. The offense wasn't really there in the West Coast.
Right.
They lost 7-8. They lost 8-7. They lost 7-6.
Yeah, but they also lost 3-2, 5-3,
Lost 7-5.
5-2.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned at all. I really they were in every game. It was a close game.
in
It's
terms
just-
of what? Not concerned about what?
I'm not
exactly?
concerned about the Yankees moving forward. I think and I think Chapman coming back is humongous.
Yeah,
and
that-
I think they had some problems with the bullpen, but
Overworked.
when Clippard is pitching too much. Betances has not been pitching enough.
It's true.
I don't know if Girardi's worried about his workload or whatever, but Chapman coming back allows
That's gonna be
Betances
huge,
to go
yeah.
back into that role. And now maybe Girardi, now that he's not closing, he'll be more willing to throw him, 1 2/3, 2 innings, which is the role that Betances is best in. Shorten these games up, and they'll be okay going forward.
Betances has been unhittable since Chapman's
Yeah,
gone down.
he just hasn't had an opportunity.
He's been
to
lights
pitch.
out.
Though they lost 6 straight. They blew out Baltimore. When was he supposed to pitch? They blew out the Red Sox.
He's
too.
only thrown, I think,
That's what I mean.
9-10 innings. Since
I
he went
doubt there's
down.
been safe
but he hasn't given up a
situations.
run yet.
Yeah, but we're talking about all these close games.
That's a good point. No, you're
So
right.
don't
It
tell
means
me
a
that
lot.
he shouldn't
Good
be
point.
in
Yeah,
these
but they're
games.
close games against garbage teams.
No, but
It doesn't mean you're not supposed to pitch
No.
him.
What I'm saying is that
Oh.
Betances is not pitching enough.
You're right. That's a good point.
Oh, okay.
Enough
Yeah.
with this Girardi by the book stuff. I can't anymore.
Yeah.
I cannot.
I know. I hate it too. I can't stand it. But I mean, I don't know what he's trying to do. Maybe save him for down the line.
Saving him for-
August, September. I mean, I don't know. Right now we're tied with Boston for first. Lost that lead quick, and then this is supposed to be. Think about it. We have 4 or 5 guys on this team hitting like well over 300 at this point, and we're 38 and 29. Like you would think.
Yeah.
we should be a little better than that. And after the skid, it looks bad. But, all these guys are super hot. What's going to happen when some guys cool down? This guy, Judge, ain't hitting like that the whole year. He's going under 300 at some point.
He's going to regress to the mean.
He's regressing to the mean. And then Didi isn't going to hit what he's hitting all year, too.
Man.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
You want to trade him for Moustakas.
I do. No, well, I mean, I love Didi. Listen, I like Didi a lot. I do.
I've never gained such an appreciation for one guy over the course of a year as Didi. He's one of my favorite players
last year, too.
I mean, yeah, he was great last year, but he's proven it's not a fluke. He's a great hitter. He hits lefties really well, and he's amazing in the field. Amazing.
He does hit lefties really well.
He hits lefties is probably the most
impressive.
Impressive.
He's one of the best shortstops in the league.
Defensively, he's great. He's
Defensively?
He's not the smartest player.
Totally.
He's not the smartest player.
He's one of the best shortstops in the league.
Without a doubt.
All around, yeah. He's
Without
probably-
a doubt.
Definitely in the top
I never
10.
would have
what
thought that.
shortstops are in the MLB
I never would have
right
thought
now?
that. He's one of the best shortstops.
Correa, Lindor, Seager.
Yeah, you're naming the best ones.
Bogart.
So how is he one of the best ones?
He's the
Those
next
are the
tier.
best ones.
He's the next tier.
All right, so he's the... Okay.
Is he a top 10 shortstop?
Yes.
He's not an elite shortstop.
Yes,
is what
he's
I'm
a top
saying.
10 shortstop.
What would you consider elite?
Like I said, Seager,
I meant how many numbers? Top what? What's elite? Top 5? Top 4?
top 3 to top 5? Top 3? I don't know.
He's top 10, though.
Okay, yeah, he's top 10.
He's lean. Is he? He's still lean. No,
Shortstop's
he's
a
not.
shallow
Judge lead
position.
league in hitting.
He should be top 10, especially when he's batting 330.
One thing the Yankees got to be a little bit worried about now is injuries are starting to bite them.
Yeah.
They didn't have...
They're pitching.
yeah, right.
They're pitching.
The
finally
skid
got
started when a couple guys went down, right?
Sabathia went down.
Yeah.
Sabathia. Who else went
Believe it or
down?
not, that's important.
Bird is going to be out. Oh, no, who's going to be
Boy,
out?
he just went to see a knee specialist. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
that's
going
not
on with
good.
this
I
guy.
think Bird might be out much longer
Yeah, it was
now.
a
Yes.
Gleyber Torres in the minors just got hurt.
Yeah, you know that hurts me
Got
because you know
hurt.
how I feel
Bad
about
UCL.
Got her. He's out for the year. He
Yeah,
tore
I mean,
Tommy
he's coming
John
back next
surgery.
spring training, maybe. So now what? Moustakas?
Well, what's with
The
your
Moose?
obsession with the Moose?
Well, I just figured the Royals are horrible. They're selling him for sure.
I don't want him.
They're only 3.5 games back of the wild.
You don't want him? He's
I have no
got
interest in
18
him.
and 19 homers this year.
I'm not a big
just
fan
don't
of
have
Mike
it.
Moustakas.
We have Headley at third.
I know.
We're going to need offense, especially if Bird's going to be out that long and Gleyber can't come up.
You know
We
how
don't need
much I
offense?
dislike Chase Headley.
Yeah, so
Right.
don't you
And-
want a new guy there?
I do, but Moustakas, and I do think the Royals are going to trade somebody because the Royals have Kane, Moustakas,
They trade everybody.
Hosmer,
You can trade-
and somebody else off the top of my head I can't think that are
They
all
want.
Escobar?
in walk years.
I think they want to try Jason Vargas too. Try to sell him since he's the
Since
first
he's so
pitcher.
hot,
He's
yeah.
the first pitcher to 10 wins. Jason Vargas.
No, I know
I don't
he
want
was
that
good.
junk. Come on.
I didn't say we want.
People
him,
see
but
right through that. People see the team see right.
It's
Yeah,
like a
see right
ghost.
through that. So
I mean,
But what the Yankees was going to be important, they're coming back home. They're facing the Angels, and I think it's the Rangers at home. So have a nice little homestand for rebound off this 6-game skid, and hopefully put a little separation between them and the Red Sox. I agree with Mike. I'm not too worried about it.
No.
They did lose some close games. Oh, you can't just like Chris, just like you were saying, you don't want to get too excited because they're doing good.
you don't want to get too down when they're doing bad.
Exactly. There's a long season, up and downs. Let's see how they rebound from it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Severino still
he looks great.
still
He's-
pitching gems.
Yeah, I think I might have said this. I was wrong about him being in the bullpen. Definitely.
Remember what you said at the beginning of the year?
I did.
I said start him.
You know, you were
One more
right.
chance.
You were right.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I mean,
Chris made sure
Oh,
to
I
tell
love
you
to
that
hear
he
that.
said he
Say it
started.
again. Say it again.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
No,
I was
he's-
wrong. Just put on Luke.
No,
Can you cut that, Paul? Can you get like a
auto-tune
drop?
of it
Can you
or
get our
something.
first
I
drop
was
of
wrong.
Wynn just going? I was wrong. I was wrong.
He'll fall asleep today. You kidding me? He'll have it next to his bed.
I was wrong. Just listen to headphones. I was wrong.
No, but seriously, Severino was. I thought he threw as hard as he was throwing because he was in the bullpen for only an inning. He's throwing like that for 9 innings.
Yeah.
And not in well, he's throwing that for an entire game. He's hitting 97, 90. He's at the highest velocity in baseball.
Nasty.
Yeah.
That's pretty
He's
ridiculous.
developing. You know, it takes time to develop sometimes.
And he
in the
doesn't
MLB.
walk anybody. Him and Pineda both don't walk anybody, which is why I think that they're they're in for the long haul. You know,
We need Tanaka to get fixed, though.
I
Yeah.
think he's hurt.
They'll probably put him on the
His ball
DL
does not
anyway.
move the way it
ball's
used
not
to.
moving, man.
I think he's hurt.
I told
be
you that
honest.
stat that I
He's
saw about
like
the ball
0
movement.
He's 0-7 with like a 6 ERA or something.
I told you
in
that
his
stat
last,
I
like,
read
10 starts
about.
or something.
About the ball movement.
No, he didn't.
It was like in his first 2 years, the ball was moving like 1.9 inches. His splitter, then it was moving 2.2 inches. This year, it's moving 0.5 inches.
Wow.
I don't know how they measure that, but they're measuring that.
I've been saying it for years that Japanese pitchers just don't last very long in the MLB. Only a few have over
it's-
the years.
Well,
And a lot of them end up in the bullpen.
Yeah, well, that's strictly because in in Japan, it's 6 days rest, not 5.
Well, not just that. I heard.
You know?
Didn't you hear about when they're young in Japan? They overwork them like crazy. When they're really young, they pitch them like crazy.
I think you've
but-
seen a movement away from signing these Japanese guys pitchers to huge contracts. It was definitely peaked. No, it definitely peaked like 10 years ago.
Kaigawa.
15 years ago.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's the first guy I was
Big
thinking.
contract
It's a horrible
for
signing.
nothing.
People were happy to sign,
Arabu.
the fifth,
Chin-Ming Wang.
the fifth
Too
best
soon.
Japanese pitcher to monster money. That doesn't happen anymore. I think
No.
it's because, like you're saying, is a big part of it.
Because they end up, they fall off quick.
Well, let's take that and we're going to run that into fantasy baseball, fantasy baseball focus. Like we had mentioned last week, we are all in a FanDuel league where we're competing against each other Monday night's games. Last week, our first week, yours truly won without Gary Sanchez playing, which was a complete mess up on my part. But we get ready for the show, and I have slipped my mind to check.
Yeah, I mean, I did
Sanchez
it 2
didn't
minutes
play.
before it started. So
But
I
still seem to do what I had to do. Come out the W.
You didn't do anything.
You had to
In
do
fact,
it.
What do you mean? How did I not do anything?
In fact, your team
don't
won
like
in
you.
spite of you messing up.
how many players are on a team?
What? How many?
On the roster?
8, 9,
No.
10.
10. Okay.
10 or 9? 9.
I think it's 9.
9. All right, so there's 9 guys. Who picked those 9 guys?
Yeah, you picked one
All right,
that
so I
wasn't
won.
even playing.
So how did they win in spite of me? I won. Just take. You lost. Just admit it.
How are we
You
doing
lost.
this week? Because I don't have it up.
I'm
yet.
winning again.
Mike's
No,
got
Mike's
82.
in fifth.
Mike's got 82.8. I'm closely
You're
behind
down by-
82.1.
Yep.
I'm down by points.
Then win, then
0.7.
me.
Then win, then Chris.
I have 72.
Then Pepino, 68. Glad Bizzle, a little shout out. Number 6 is
53 Pepino has.
Pepino, but he's in 5th. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
okay.
No, it's Pepino 68. That's his username.
Okay, gotcha.
Glad Bizzle, DFB3, and Jay's the Man
Donnie
coming up
Boss,
in
the
8th.
stat guy,
And Jay's the Man 212 coming
With
up.
9
Jason,
points.
one of our contributors, coming up in 8th place right now.
with a nice 9
It
points.
was a nice spot. Well, I started out last week with 3 points. I came out in 2nd. So I'm just. But anybody got picks that they made that they that reasons why they picked them, what you liked about them? I guess we'll start with Win. Mr. Champion.
Well,
Yeah.
to be honest, this
How
week,
did you want to duplicate?
All right, so
your
first,
success?
my first thought was to take Kershaw. Right, Kershaw is 12,000, I believe, 12,200.
12,500.
Oh, I just took the lead,
12,500.
by the way. Sorry.
He was a very,
Sorry.
very, very, very expensive expensive player.
Yeah,
And when I
you
tried to
can't
make
get
a
anyone.
team with him, all of a sudden I was left with 2,000 to make 2 outfielder spots. So it wasn't working. I tried to. It took me
That's
about,
tough.
straight
Straight
about half an
garbage.
hour to try to. Couldn't do it. And then I said to myself, all right, who's the next best pitcher there with a good matchup? I said Lester. And then I said, everybody's probably going to have Lester, so I stood away from him. I went a little different. I went Marco Estrada as my pitcher.
Yeah.
I like Toronto. They usually hit. Texas does have a good lineup, but when Estrada's on, I've seen him pitch against the Yankees.
He's got a
enough
filthy
where he's-
changeup, yeah.
Yes, he's very good. Right now, he's 3 1/3, 1 earned run, 3 Ks. And then I just said, you know what? I'm going to go Nationals heavy. Right?
Stack Nationals.
Stack Nationals. Zimmerman, Murphy, Harper.
And they're doing
And
well.
They're doing well. It's 7-6.
Very well.
I got 6, 12, and 22 from Harper. Then I had to fill in some spots. I hope to get lucky with Schwarber with a homer. He hasn't done much yet. I thought Boston and with
Schwarber's
Bogarts,
cheap.
Machado. You want to get guys who have high upsides. That's the key.
Well-
Obviously, I don't want. I want that home run power.
Yeah.
Because a guy who hits 2 homers it can win you a league. You get a guy who
A
hits 2
home
homers
run's
in a-
18.7 points or
it's
something
huge.
like that. A solo
Huge.
shot.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Yeah.
So you get a guy, steals and homers. Sometimes steals get a little undervalued, but that was my theory going
Yeah.
into today.
Yeah, you could stack power.
Yeah, I know you had a different.
I had Lester. Me and Mike had Lester. Me and Boo had Lester.
Right, you had Lester, but before we go any further, I have to bring this up.
Oh, yeah.
I have to bring it up. I should have brought it up before. What happened with Castro in that pop-up?
Yeah. Was that Thursday night? That was Thursday night, right?
I believe it was Thursday
Yeah,
night.
so I played 150 entries, late night slate, 2-game slate. It was the Yankees, Oakland, Kansas City, LA Angels. Horrible offensive slate. So what I did was I said, you know what? I'm going to do 2 pitchers I like out of the 4. So I took 2 pitchers, basically 50% each. And I also, my hitting, I just spread it out throughout the board. Like the worst hitters, I made teams with the worst hitters, teams with the best hitters, everything. I ended up, at one point in the night, it was like the 7th or 8th inning in both games, like around there. I was making $17,000. I was in first, second, and eighth out of I don't know how many people, but I was first place was $10,000. So, but then later in the game, we're down to the Oakland A's and Yankees game at the very end when it was bases loaded, Chris Davis up, 2 outs, and he pops up, and Stalin Castro drops the ball. They don't give him an error. That single drove in 2 runs to win the game as a walk-off. That Chris Davis singles made me go from up 8,000 to 3,200. I lost almost over $5,000 on one swing, one at bat to end the game like that. And I watched that whole Yankee game. I was miserable.
That's how
2 o'clock in the morning. That game went to extra innings.
That's how brutal daily
Gambling.
fantasy is.
Gambling.
Brutal.
Gambling. Yeah,
it's hard
It's
to
such
watch.
luck, dude. For baseball,
Football
nightly?
too, for that matter.
Yeah, but football at least it's weekly. Baseball for a guy to hit nightly is difficult to figure out. It's hard to predict who's going to hit a homer each night. It's very difficult to do. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously you want to go for the power guys over the other guys, but it doesn't always work that way. You know what I mean?
So we got the angry text early in the morning the next day.
Yeah, we did.
I don't
Pissed.
blame you, but it's hard to watch those things going on because there's so many people that are competing in these leagues and they have completely different players. Each time there's an at bat, all the standings change, so it can be very frustrating to watch when you're in a big league like that.
When
a couple of points could make you jump or drop. A lot.
So getting back to today's FanDuel Fantasy Focus, who'd you go with?
Let's see. I went with Lester, pitcher like Mike. He's pitching actually a gem right now. 7 Ks, 5 2/3. He gave up 2 runs though. Contreras, I got like you, catcher. I got Moreland at first. I went like cheaper with the hitting. Javier Baez, who's got 6 points. Chris Bryant, Lindor.
So you went Cubs heavy.
I went kind of Cubs heavy. Yeah.
You went relatively Cubs heavy,
and Bryant's doing nothing.
and then you kind of filled in the rest of the way.
Yeah, I did Lindor. I did Corey Dickerson, Gregory Polanco, and Jackie Bradley, who hit a home run.
You thought they were gonna bomb Clayton Richard.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Phil.
They do.
I didn't really go heavy on one team, but I went Cueto pitching. I thought in Atlanta. Atlanta's a little
Hey,
banged
guys.
up.
Phil.
What's up?
I actually sorry to interrupt you. We got
Sorry.
your teams here. It's starting from left to right.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, and then you can
got
talk about it as it's up. I'm going to put it in right now.
There we go.
Thank you.
Continue talking about it. And it's just going to be up.
Lost my train of thought now.
Maybe second.
Forget it. I lost my train of thought. Well, no, I'm kidding.
No, you went Cueto.
I'm kidding. I got Cueto. I thought he had a pretty good matchup against there it is against Atlanta. They're a little banged up. He's actually pitching pretty good. He's got 20 points. I went Carlos Santana against Baltimore. We were just talking about how much Baltimore can't pitch at all.
He's going off.
He's going off. He's got 35 points. So I went with Machado. I got a couple of misses here. I went Castilla. I kind of went with that game. McCutchen helped me out with the home run. And I did try to go, what you talking about, cheap power. I got Duvall, who's a cheap player, and who has about 17 homers this year. I'm not getting a home run from him right now.
But you got 9 points from him.
And I got 10 points from him. I went Trey Mancini, the cheap guy, who's been playing really well.
Hot.
But he hasn't been doing too much. I've been getting a good amount of points from the guys if Cueto pitches good. I like the Cueto matchup because he was cheap. I mean, these guys are so expensive.
He's a guy who could shut a
good
team.
pitchers tonight.
These pitches were expensive today.
He's a guy who could shut a team down.
Yeah.
He has that.
But he's had
ability.
bad years.
He hasn't had a good year. You're right. But
But the
took a little
talent,
chance
the
on him.
skill is there, Boo.
So looking at my team, by the way, I just took over first, so let's talk about the first place team right now.
Scooter Jeanette.
My strategy is
Going off.
my
I know
strategy
he's going on.
is pretty simple. What I look for is, first of all, I always start with the pitcher. I try to take a pitcher that strikes out a lot of guys and has a good matchup. Okay, because in this league, strikeouts are big.
Huge, yeah.
So even though Lester's losing right now, he's got 37 points because he has 7 strikeouts in 6 innings.
Right.
You want something like that. So I look for a good matchup with the pitcher and a guy that Ks a lot of guys. Then what I look for in my hitting is I really look at matchups. I want to see who the opposing pitchers are. I like to see if guys have high whips because I'm not so focused on the home runs. I'm looking to see, because the other thing I look for is a guy that's hitting high up in the order. Scooter Jeanette is hitting second today, and he hits very well against righties. So he was playing against Odorizzi. Odorizzi was on the mound, and
he's not exactly a stud righty when you're afraid of him.
Right, and Scooter, although he has a good whip, but what I look for is good pitching, good hitting matchups, and guys that hit high up in the order. Scooter Jeanette was $2,400. He cost nothing,
cheap.
and he's got 34 points right now. So he's really my big
Quick
eight
question
right now.
Yeah, that
I got a
unbelievable
quick
game.
question for you. Would you rather go for a hot guy? Let's say he's ripping last 3 days, hit a couple homers, or would you rather go for the guy that's cold, that's due? Like, what would you?
No, always go with the hot guy.
You always go with the hot guy?
You know, baseball, when you're hot, the ball's like a balloon. When you can't hit the ball, it's like a golf ball.
Yeah, but
You know,
sometimes it's good, really good players that are cold that are due for a nice day. I think I sometimes do that. Like, I took Chris Bryant today. He's been very cold.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it's just, I guess it's
obviously not
personal
working out.
opinion. I personally would rather go with the hot guy than the cold, always.
Yeah.
Especially
So you'll go with
baseball.
all hot guys?
No, not all, but, I'm not going to, if a guy's, 0 for his last 16 or 1 for his last 16, I'm not taking him. I'm not
Right.
touching him until he comes out of it.
But Lorenzo Cain's been tearing the cover off the ball,
he's
so I
out.
took him. He's not doing much today, but I think I agree with Win. You want to go with the hot guy.
Agreed.
All right, so that's our fantasy
Very
focus for
agreement.
this week. Our last
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I just took over first place again. Sorry.
All right, there's still 10 minutes left, so don't worry. This time.
Elvis Andrews with a 2 RBI single. Sorry, I just wanted
What'd you get?
That's all right.
Solid 5 points for that?
I
Keep following. Sorry.
Moving on to our question of the night.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Big news out of Vegas this past week. Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
Huge news. I did not think personally that this would ever come to fruition.
I agree.
I didn't think it was going to happen. I just didn't think it made sense. So our question tonight: is there any chance Conor McGregor beats Floyd Mayweather? All right, Boo, I'll kick it to you.
Can he beat him? No, but I don't think
Nope.
I don't think anybody cares. I think that this is a circus, and I think that's what people want to see. I can't wait to see what I care about just as much as the fight, or at least close. I want to see the press conference. I think that's
where
going to
Conor
be.
makes his money.
I don't know what this guy's going to say. Something it's going to be blood at
With
the press
me.
conference. Nobody knows what's going to come out of this guy's mouth. So it's stuff like that. It's a circus. We don't get this kind of attraction in boxing these days.
Very often,
So
yeah.
it's happening at the perfect time, and I think that is just as much of the show. And that's why I'm a little bit surprised that the build-up isn't bigger. I can't believe they're fighting in 2 months because I thought they would really draw this out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Mayweather's, 40? I mean, he wants to fight as soon as possible.
He wants to get paid.
I was going to say Mayweather.
40 million.
Mayweather doesn't need to be paid. I was going to say, I mean, Mayweather's not
He likes
stupid.
his money.
He also likes his money, but he doesn't want. He wants to give McGregor as little amount of time as possible to train. Because training's everything McGregor needs to do because he needs
course.
to.
He's going his field.
So that's why I agree. I agree. I was a little surprised when I thought about it a little bit. That's why. Yeah. Does he? Look, if I was making a bet, I'd put money on McGregor though. The odds started at minus 1,100 for Mayweather. And they went down immediately to minus 600 because so many people were betting on McGregor.
All right, so I'll give you a little insight to that. So reading up on this, McGregor had, I think, 90% of the bets go on him.
Yeah, I read this.
However, the money was all on Mayweather.
70% or something like that was on Mayweather.
70% of the money was on Mayweather, but 90% of the bets placed were on McGregor.
So
you had regular guys betting $100, $20, $50 on McGregor, but you had the big money going on
Well, that
Mayweather.
makes perfect sense.
What do they call square bets or something? I was reading about just like a small
the
bet to
odds.
try to get. Yeah,
Oh, great.
but I give McGregor. I'll give him. I won't say 0. I'll give him a little bit of chance. He's a lot younger
What
than
percentage
Mayweather.
of a chance?
I'll go 5.
Wow.
That's pretty low.
Giving him a chance.
I mean,
So
I
you're
was
saying
there's
there's
a
a
I'm
chance.
saying is that I can't go high. Give me a
What was
little
all that-
time. Maybe I'll go high. Maybe I'll go higher. But
What was all
he's
that
got
1 in a
bigger
million
reach. He's
talk?
got a bigger. He's got a longer reach than Mayweather.
But he's not a
Just saying.
boxer.
I'm
Yeah, right.
just
That's the
saying.
problem.
You think
If
he
he's
has a
been
chance?
training?
No, absolutely not.
I think there's a 0.0000000
Unless the only way-
chance.
So my 5 is really up there.
5 is high. I don't understand how a guy who
Mayweather
never is not a boxer.
But maybe that will go to his advantage.
How?
Mayweather's so used to fighting boxers. I don't know. Maybe McGregor's style will be so. Just
You're not a boxer. You want to fight him?
I'm pretty sure McGregor's in a better position to fight Mayweather than me.
But I'm just saying it blows my mind how this actually even happened.
Well,
I understand why it happened was the money, and I know
Yeah.
one of our
He's got a
followers,
$100 million
Andrew,
payday.
said that he's still going to get the pay-per-view. And you know what? I don't watch boxing. I don't watch UFC.
But you'll watch that.
But I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, you'll watch that.
You know
That'll
why?
be a lot of
Because
money.
because
Dude, money talks.
Because
That's
if it happens, you're like, oh my god, he actually did this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like somebody, I was talking to somebody at work today, and they said, oh, you know what's going to happen? McGregor's going to lose, and he said, oh, he was such a great fighter, this and that. Let him see me in my ring. And then it's going to be like he's going to make that excuse, and they'll try to promote that. I'm just saying.
Mayweather will not go in a UFC ring.
He can't.
He will get.
He won't.
crushed.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
He will get
Yeah.
crushed.
But
That's why this
think
is
about that,
this is why this is kind of dumb.
I think that there's just as much chance. I think actually a higher chance than McGregor winning this fight is McGregor just unleashing a kick to Mayweather.
No,
I know.
wait.
I know.
Did you read that?
Yeah, it's in the
Fight over.
contract. I know. But,
What?
But
I'm
I
sorry,
don't care. I still think
This
that's
is what I said. As soon as the
fight.
fight started, I said what I would love to see if McGregor's in the 11th round, he knows he's going to lose, and then pop, he hits Mayweather a roundhouse, and Mayweather falls out of the ring, just done. And that's the last image you see of Mayweather. And then I read it.
You expected to just
that would have been great.
a sweeping
That would have
leg
been
kick?
great. Like he's just getting frustrated. Mayweather's winning. He misses, gives him like a backhand punch and roundhouse right out of the ring.
I
Mayweather
still would not be
out cold.
surprised.
Done. And McGregor just leaves. It was $100 million and just leaves. But it's in the contract. Mayweather can sue him if he kicks him. Did you know that?
Which makes sense. I mean,
If it's a kick, it's in the contract. So if McGregor, any form of kick, a lawsuit comes out there. And as much as McGregor might want to kick him, McGregor wants his money.
Here's how
McGregor's
this.
not gonna
Here's
kick
how this.
What if his
should go
instinct
down?
just takes over? Like, what if instinct?
That's
he's
why
like,
it's in the
boom.
contract. Doesn't
No,
matter.
He's training for that.
I wouldn't be surprised. But here's how this fight should go down. And this I would pay $100
12 rounds?
for. No. First round, boxing rules. Second round, MMA rules. Third round, boxing rules. Go back and forth.
What about like a ladder match?
completely
I
out of
wouldn't even know
control.
what the hell's going on.
What about
but
the
I would
12th?
be thoroughly
Can
entertained.
the 12th round be like a last man standing match?
No, 12th round, wrestling.
That's what I'm saying. The last man standing ladder match.
Wrestling, yeah.
Put a belt on the top. and just
Things are
finish
going
off like
crazy
that.
on Bridgeside Sports.
Mayweather will
Table
get killed.
match.
Mayweather will get killed in that sense then.
13th
Okay.
round, mini golf.
He'll get killed. Bocce ball.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is a
cornhole.
This is a circus. So embrace the circus. I would like to see
India
that.
versus Pakistan.
Yeah, bro, that's a
Big
huge
rivalry.
game. It's a huge
Who
game.
won?
Did you read about
Who
that?
won?
No, I
You know
don't
those
know.
games last days? Those cricket games?
Yeah. They last forever.
do you mean days?
Yeah, they go on for
Less
days,
days.
dude. They do.
They have to stop it, and they remember where it finished.
They do.
And then it goes, and they start the
They
next
started
day.
the next day. Yeah, it's
Really?
a long,
Trying to-
long thing.
that'll-
Yeah,
Dude, I was
But,
trying to read the rules on cricket. It's
yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
I don't want to go too far out there. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. No, sorry. I was trying to.
He's
I was trying to read the rules on cricket. I feel like we're gonna get
I was gonna
stay on
say-
topic.
The only way McGregor has a shot is if within the first 3 or 4 rounds he could get a knockout punch in there, which obviously he's most likely not going to. Small chance he does, but this is going to end up being a really anticlimactic fight. And
that is a good
the
point.
most entertaining part of the fight is going to be Paulie Malignaggi's commentary, and that's about it.
Prior to
I honestly
I'm excited about
think-
Paulie Malignaggi.
Can I say my opinion on boxing? I feel every time I watch it, it's anticlimactic.
That's what I was gonna say.
Every time, except when
Nowadays.
when Tyson bit Holyfield's ear.
and that
It's
wasn't
the
a
only
fight.
like interesting thing that I was,
No,
I agree. Can I ask something? Hold on.
Lennox Lewis had a
It's
couple
always-
good fights.
Not against Tyson, though.
No, not
Can I
against
ask one? Because I do agree with Paul. I want to piggyback off what Paul said. What do you think is going to be more anticlimactic? Because I think we can all agree Mayweather versus Pacquiao was insanely anticlimactic. Do you think that this will be more anticlimactic than Pacquiao Mayweather?
Is it fixed?
Wow, that's a whole
I don't know.
No, I
What do you think? Do you think this will be more entertaining than Mayweather Pacquiao?
Mayweather Pacquiao. I guess for people who watch boxing or into boxing, actually said it was a pretty good fight because that's what they expect. Because
Did they?
Mayweather,
I didn't know they did.
Mayweather
I
played
thought it was
was
boring.
defensive type
I know,
boxing. You don't
that's
let
what
him
Mayweather
get hit.
does.
So
That's why I think Conor might have a chance.
how?
Mayweather
No.
is so good against boxers. Maybe
He's got a fighter's chance.
He's got a. What percentage, Paul? What percentage you gave him? We want your input.
I'll give him about 5%.
There we go. Oh, I'm with Paulie, babes. Let's go.
Well, in
5%.
theory, it's actually
He gave you the same exact
5% compared to
I
what
love it.
your Vegas is giving you better odds than what you're giving them.
Much
Vegas is like plus. McGregor's like plus 500.
Yeah, he started.
What do you
plus
think?
7.
What do you think the best bet is? Mayweather in 12?
No,
No knockout?
No knockout. I agree. No knockout.
No knockout?
You don't think he's knock him out?
No,
I don't know.
I would say
I don't
no
know.
knockout.
I think he's going to get
I-
points. He's just going to get
It's going
points.
to be very.
I think
it's very
Mayweather's
gonna
going to manhandle him. He's going to destroy him.
But that's not his type
But
of fight.
McGregor-
Exactly. It's slow. It's going to be
It's a slow, methodical fight. McGregor's a tough guy.
Yeah,
he could take
he's
a
not gonna
punch.
just get knocked
We
out.
could all
by
agree with
Mayweather
that.
at 40 years old. I don't know.
He's pound for pound, arguably the best boxer of all time. But he's fighting. It's a different sport.
In 49 fights, he has 26 knockouts. He's not a knockout puncher.
I understand that, but it's a different sport.
I know.
Which is the whole problem. That's why.
That's why
he's going to get knocked out.
That's why it's going to be really
That's why he's got a 5%
not
chance.
a good fight. And everyone's going to be excited. And it's going to be like,
All right,
But everybody's going to watch it.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's
so
the thing.
last
Makes money.
thing. Prediction?
Yeah.
I know it's a little early, but prediction. We'll come back to this later before the
For
fight.
what, Mayweather?
Yeah, what do you
McGregor?
think?
Mayweather, most likely in 12, I would say, yeah.
Mayweather in a
In
decision.
decision, yeah.
Phil?
Mayweather in decision. After McGregor kicks him.
Mayweather and this Mayweather is going to catch a kick to the face, and it's going to end in the second round, and there's going to be mayhem. Disqualification.
That would be great. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be fantastic.
And
That actually would, yeah.
and maybe you know what? Because we're talking about boxing and it's fixed, maybe that's the way it was fixed up to be, and then we'll have a part 2 where it'll be a real deal and they'll make even more money.
Where it's your idea.
The way around.
Half.
No.
I'm going to go Mayweather in the 7th round with a knockout.
Okay.
That's my guess.
That's
but
good.
we got a lot
We
of
got
time
time.
to fight.
We got
We'll
time.
need it. But so thanks everybody for tuning in. Tomorrow we'll have Bridgeside Live back with us again. Tune in for Bridgeside Live tomorrow because we have Nicole Raviv here. She's a solo performer. She'll be with her own band though. She's bringing a band with her. And we'll also have a new announcement about a special show that's going to be coming up in a few weeks. So tune in for Chris, Phil, Mike, and myself. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.